The most important question to ask yourself is not if the world will end. The question to ask is when and how this world will end. The shocking thing about this is that the Bible points out that we humans will play a major part in bringing the world to an end. So, this brings us to another question, which is the reason for this video. How will the world end, according to the Bible? As Christians, we believe that the end of the world centers around the concept of the second coming of Jesus Christ, as outlined in various biblical passages, particularly in Matthew 24 and the book of Revelation. This event is anticipated to mark the conclusion of human history, involving the return of Jesus to judge the living and the dead. The conviction in this prophecy forms a core aspect of our Christian faith, with believers finding assurance in the promises outlined in the Bible. Before the anticipated second coming of Jesus Christ, which is the grand event that brings the end of the world, the Bible outlines various signs and events that Christians are encouraged to be vigilant about. Many have happened, many are happening, and more is still yet to come. Throughout the Old and New Testament, particularly in the letters of Paul and John, there are warnings and descriptions of the challenges that believers may face preceding the final return of Christ. These teachings emphasize the importance of spiritual preparedness and steadfast faith in the face of tribulations. The Lord Jesus, in Matthew chapter 24 verses 4 to 14, provides a list of signs that we are to take note of as pointers to his second coming. These signs include false messiahs, wars and rumors of wars, famines, earthquakes, persecution of believers, and the spread of the gospel to all nations. Similarly, the Apostle Paul in 2 Timothy chapter 3 verses 1 to 5 outlines characteristics of a society in moral decline, emphasizing the need for spiritual vigilance. We will get back to this in a few minutes. This is what this video is all about. Throughout history, some prophecies concerning the end time have come to pass. For instance, the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948 is seen as a fulfillment of biblical prophecies regarding the restoration of Israel in Isaiah chapter 66 verse 8. Who has ever heard of such a thing? Who has ever seen such things? Can a country be born in a day or a nation be brought forth in a moment? Yet no sooner is Zion in labor than she gives birth to her children. Another prophecy that has come to pass is the drying up of the Euphrates River, which is foretold in Revelation 16 verse 12, where the sixth angel pours out a bowl, causing the great river to dry up, preparing the way for the kings from the east. This event is often interpreted as a symbolic or literal pointer to the important eschatological battle, the Battle of Armageddon. The idea in this verse is crucial to discussions surrounding end-time prophecies. The drying of the Euphrates is seen as a crucial sign aligning with the unfolding of biblical events leading to the culmination of human history. After considering the historical happenings that have given us a heads up on the fact that the world is truly coming to an end. 2. Timothy chapter 3 verses 1 to 5 describes a set of characteristics that will mark the last days, painting a clear picture of what will happen in our society. If we observe the contemporary world, parallels can be drawn between these verses and various global events. These verses prove that we as humans will cause the world to come to an end due to the things we have started engaging in, things that are not worthy of humans, although they are all part of the divine agenda. But you don't want to be caught in this web as Christians. The verse begins with, "But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days." This alarming declaration sets the tone for a description of troubles in society. The first thing Paul mentioned in this verse is that men will be lovers of themselves. It's pretty obvious that this is the order of the day in society. People are selfish and prioritize their own interests, desires, and well-being over caring about others. It's like saying some people are more concerned about what they want and need, often forgetting about others. And it's not only among the people, it also includes government and leaders. Everybody is focused on themselves, contrary to the instructions of Jesus to love our neighbors as ourselves. The verse continues by stating that people will be lovers of money. You can see many young people doing all sorts of things to get money. Many young people, men and women, are ditching moral values and engaging in ridiculous things just to make money. Look at the entertainment industries. You can see different kind of perversion among youths. Even adults try to change numbers to take more money out of projects, which is basically stealing. Many people say it's because of the economic situation of the world. Yes, it's true, but that is also a sign that the world is diminishing and decaying. Somebody once said that the world is going to end when we get to the point where we cannot sustain ourselves anymore. Now even the economies of world powers are failing. The countries now owing the highest debts are the world economic powers. The United Kingdom has slipped into recession, followed by Japan and Germany, and the United States debts have gotten to an all-time high. These are all signs that the world is ready for the coming of the Messiah, which is a sign of the end of days. In continuation, the verse points to a lack of self-control and an increase in brutality. Before we continue, let's read the verse. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verses 1-5. But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying its power, have nothing to do with them. The rise in instances of violence, both on an individual and national level, is observable worldwide. There are acts of terrorism, civil unrest, and human rights violations. The mention of being boastful, proud, and disobedient to parents in verse 2 of 2 Timothy chapter 3 corresponds to cultural shifts in many moral nations of the world. Different cultures have seen a decline in traditional values and a decline in respect for authority, especially parents. These ideas started in some particular places around the world, and it has gradually spread into every part of the world. The verse goes on to describe people being ungrateful and unholy, traits that resonate with a sense of entitlement and a deviation from moral principles. In a fast-paced world driven by instant gratification, expressions of gratitude and adherence to traditional moral codes may seem diminished. In verse 3 of 2 Timothy chapter 3, the concept of being without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, and not lovers of the good, proves the condition of the society in which hatred sometimes triumphs over compassion. Examples of these behaviors include instances of cyberbullying, public humiliation, and lack of compassion. Make sure to drop your own observations in the comment box so that more people can see this truth we are sharing. The verse concludes by stating that people will be treacherous, rash, conceited, and lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. This is obvious in the political, social, and economic fields, deception, and self-serving behavior. It is becoming very difficult to trust one another, even family members. I heard of a case where a man traveled to a more developed country to seek greener pastures, and he would send money home to a family member to build a house for him on getting back home to his country. There was no house built. The wicked family members spent all the money he sent on their own needs. We are talking about of thousands of dollars here. When we explore 2 Timothy chapter 3 verses 1-5 in the context of current events, it becomes evident that the characteristics described align with observable trends and challenges in today's world. Additionally, Jesus said when the gospel had been preached around the world, he would come. Matthew chapter 24 verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. As of 2022, there is an estimate that over 1 billion people have not heard the good news of the gospel, but as of 2024, there are certain denominations that boast of having reached nearly all the nations of the world, although might have not reached the settlements. But this is a sign that answers the question, how the world will end. Let's see what the Lord Jesus himself said. Matthew chapter 24 verses 5-7. For many will come in my name, claiming, I am the Christ, and will deceive many. Verse 6. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Verse 7. Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. The world is in agony. There are wars and news of war all around the world. Africa, the Middle East, Russia and Ukraine war, the COVID-19 pandemic, and disasters. Why do you think many billionaires are building underground bunkers? They are aware of what is happening, but they don't know why. And that is why I am here to tell you it's because the end of the world is near, and Jesus is coming soon. So be prepared, the world is coming to an end soon. But what is more important is your destination after the world ends. Will you be on the side of God or the outer darkness? Make your choice today. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to share with someone who needs encouragement in their Christian journey. God bless.